Nigeria's last 2023 general election, which produced President Bola Tinubu, reflects the will of the electorate despite widespread irregularities. That is the message of the 2023 country reports on human rights practices by the United States. The report, published by the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor, U.S. Department of State, stresses human rights practices and violations in different countries, including Nigeria. Quote, national elections were widely reported to have reflected the will of voters despite technical and logistical difficulties and some irregularities, end quote. According to the report, many independent observers assessed the results of the presidential, legislative, and state-level elections during the year reflected the will of voters, despite reports of voter suppression, vote buying, campaigning at polling stations, lack of ballot secrecy, violence, and intimidation. Speaking about the corruption in the government, the report advised the current administration to address issues of corruption in governance. Well, joining us in the studio is the Executive Director, Center for Social and Economic Rights, Nelson Ekujumi. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigerians.
Now, apart from all that was said by this report, opposition parties are, raising concerns or raising eyebrows that, first of all, they are surprised that the U.S. is given these kind of reports. Recall that even at that period, a lot of them were sending messages to the U.S. to come see what is going on, come and intervene, some sort. And despite all of that, the U.S. is saying this election reflected the will of the people, despite some irregularities, and also said some other things that we'll be discussing in the course of the program. Now, you were part of those who observed the election. From your standpoint, when you look at the report, do you share the same view with the report, and also what do you make of what the opposition parties are saying?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, the report stated the obvious, and the obvious is that, one, that election passed the democratic test of Nigerians, that is, the will of the people reflected. That report, in that election, the 2023 general election, also passed the judicial tests because it was subjected to judicial scrutiny, and we are all witnesses to it, what came out. We saw that those that went to court just went there, for fun. They went there without any evidence. The Electoral Act, that is the Bible of our elections, identified or highlighted basic points, landmarks in the conduct of the election. You have a polling unit, you have the Ward Collation Center, you have the Local Government Collation Center, you have the collation centers, where results from the polling units, generate and move upwards. But lo and behold, even while the results were being collated, it's a fact that political parties who lost came out openly calling for cancellation for reasons that is best known to them. And even when they went to court, we all saw it, where the judges themselves lampooned them, that you claimed to have deployed 133,000 party agents to the polling units. Not one result sheet did you produce to counter the result released by INEC to show that INEC manipulated the result. We all saw the campaign of blackmail and calumny against INEC, but at the end of the day, it all turned out to nothing. So the report by the U.S. Government, by the U.S. agency, is well in tandem with the realities of what transpired in the last 2023 election. Because for some of us, my organization also issued a statement because we deployed over 150 observers. And we were also members of several other networks.
Yes.
And we issued a report commending Nigerians, commending INEC for a job well done. And like we all know, there's no perfect election anywhere in the world.